So, hi everyone, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about a special topic that I think everyone has had on their minds once or twice in their life. And this question comes from a message that I received regarding a person who was doing quite well in his career. Actually, he did quite well for his career. He worked at some companies. He did some great projects, big ones. And he got bored, because every company that he worked at told him that he's the best developer they've ever had. He got great grades on his performance review. He was always one of the best people in the room, one of the smartest people in the room. And then he decided to switch up the job, because he's gotten tired working with, I think it was TypeScript or something, and he decided he wanted to do something else, and he chose Rust as the new toy to play with, and he got quite good experience with it. Like, he learned it, he tried to find a job with it, and he found a job with it. And once he joined this bigger company, it's much bigger than his previous experiences, he found out that all the people in his team are much smarter, much better software engineers, according to him, than he is. And his question is, how do you know if you're a good developer? So he, after all of this success, he gets a reality check, so to speak, when he's no longer the smartest person in the room, and he's like, am I even good enough to be working with this people, with this amazing team, these amazing engineers? He starts second-guessing his choice of technology, every feedback that he has gotten before. And that's the topic that we're going to be addressing today. First thing I want to say is that stop comparing yourself to others. It's important because there are so many different engineers in our world. Each year, there are many thousands new graduates who join the workforce, who are trying to build a nice career for themselves. They have a different set of tools that they know. They learned different languages that you did 10 years ago. For example, nowadays, again, Rust, Go are quite popular. Back in my days, it was Java, it was, I think, PHP or C++, depending on what you are doing. So again, the world is moving forward. You should not compare yourself to any engineer, because it's not a zero-sum game. You both win if you get better. So I'm pretty sure you are a better engineer than I am in terms of, for example, coding. And you being a good engineer does not mean I'm a bad engineer. So I don't lose if you win. We basically both win if we work on the same project, and I get better. I get to your level of greatness, so to speak. Oh, sorry, apologies. Basically, the goal is for us both to get better. And the next topic is the lack of confidence in your skills. So if you ever get the question in your mind, okay, am I even good enough? Am I even good enough to work with these brilliant engineers that are on my team? Is my code good enough? Is anything that I do even worth it for this great team? First of all, slow down, sit down, relax. You're okay, you're worth it, you're a good developer. So your lack of confidence highly likely it comes from an imposter syndrome, because you were surrounded by a lot of great feedback before you joined, for example, this team, when you're not the smartest person in the room anymore. And you start getting a reality check that there are many great developers. But again, them being great does not mean that you are bad. It's more of you have your own combination of skills that make you, a good developer. And we're going to talk about this combination of skills later. But imagine yourself like a software engineer. You are a package. You're a package of soft skills, a package of how you write code, a package of how you write documentation, how you combine software code, documentation, collaboration, how you talk with people, and how fast you can solve a problem, how fast you can get someone else to solve a problem. So it all combines into this unique package of, you. You're not just your code. First of all, you're this small combination of factors that end up being you. And everyone is unique. Every software engineer is unique. So keep in mind when you're thinking about, oh, he's great at writing features. That might be true, but he might be very bad at, for example, collaborating with managers or with designers. Like we don't know, like you don't know his whole package, so to speak, but you're measuring him, like his greatest asset, highly likely, to your like not the greatest asset. So keep in mind, well, first of all, not a zero-sum game. So him being good does not mean that you're bad. Second of all, you're only seeing one aspect of his package. So keep in mind, you are a compound of many things, and you're only comparing yourself to a single aspect of some other developer. So what makes you a good developer? Well, great that you ask. So first of all, you need to understand that your value is based on your net positive effect on the team, on the company. So think of yourself as someone who brings either +1 or -1 to the team or the company. So imagine if you're not good at code, but you're good at collaborating with the teammates. So your net positive effect is empowering everyone around you, which greatly benefits the team as a whole and as well the company. So you don't have, so software engineering again is not only about the code. You can be like bad at code, but great at facilitating things. And that still results in a net positive way of contributing to the bigger project or the company as a whole. So again, think of yourself as this unique combination of skills, and your whole package just needs to be a net positive value. So you can be a negative in some things. For example, your code is not as good or not as fast as someone else's. Totally fine, can happen. That's not really an issue. And but you're great at facilitating things or communicating with a manager or writing documentation or writing tests. So some of those things are like very net positive for the company, for the team. Let's stick to the team. And for example, another developer, he's very good at writing code fast. He can write features, every feature, like one feature every day, for example. He's very fast, but he's forgetting to write tests, for example. So a very net positive thing is he's fast and he's doing like he can write code fast and the code is like decent enough, for example. His net negative thing is him writing, not writing tests or his code failing or being returned from the QA much more often than yours, for example. So him being good at coding and you being good at testing, so eventually like you're net positive at testing, so like if you consider your whole package, and they're net positive with their coding. So, but you're equal in the sense that you bring net positive things to the team, but in different ways. So you should never compare your coding skills to their coding skills, because again, you should look at yourself as a package, not just some aspect of yourself. Otherwise, again, this whole comparison thing, it can lead to dark places, and it can get you demotivated, depressed, and eventually like you'll get bored out because you always think that you're not doing enough and everyone is better with you at the stuff that you think you should be good at. Again, think of yourself as this like net positive contributor to the team as a whole. And that's the only measure that you can measure yourself as a developer. And if we consider, for example, again, like you as a developer, your job is to solve problems for the business, for the company. So you have some kind of project that you're building. Your job, so you receive a problem. So a business faces some issue, or they want to improve. They're looking to invest into some solution that increases the efficiency of the business or expands the business or whatever. So it all comes down to that, like bringing some business value as a developer. And your worth to the business is based on how good can you solve the problems with your unique skill set. So imagine that. So you can only code. Can you really solve problems with just coding? No, because again, you need to see yourself as this unique package of everything, not just the coding part. Do not measure yourself just by the coding. Measure yourself by the ability to solve problems every day. So for example, if in a week you solved like 5 problems successfully, and with 2 of them you had to approach someone for support, that means you're like, great, you're solving like 70% of your time goes into solving problems that you know how to solve, and then the other 30 to like 20 to 30% goes into problems where you're not quite sure how to solve. So you're expanding your comfort bubble with new things, you're gaining new experience, you're building stuff that you never built before, and that's the way to go. You're building like 70% of your time stuff that you know how to build, you're solving problems. You're not just coding, you're everything around that you're doing, and then like you're expanding your bubble, you're becoming an even better developer with the other 20 to 30%, you're expanding the bubble. You don't have to be expanding the bubble to like 80% of your time. But imagine this scenario. So you join the company where you feel out of your league. Everyone is smarter. They have like several PhDs. They did AI at Google. They did VR at Facebook, whatever. Sorry, Meta. And you feel, again, this is like, you feel kind of scared because everyone's so smart. Stay at the job. Yeah, like remember that I said like 70% stuff you're used to and 20-30% stuff that you're new. So in this job, it's like 80% stuff that you haven't done before. Your expansion of your comfort bubble is gonna move leaps and bounds. As the longer you stay at this job, the faster you'll see that they're not like that smarter than you. They're same as you, just with different strengths and weaknesses. So the longer you stay at this job, which pushes your boundaries, the more this percentage of things that you can solve with your own knowledge is gonna move towards you being able to do it on your own. So like, for example, you start with 20% of being able to solve that on your own, you move that to 30, in a year that's 50, in 2 years that's 70, and you get to a normal way when other people who join your company, they're like, oh shit, how smart are you? Then you're gonna be in their position you'll remember how you were in their position and how things have changed. Again, do not be afraid to expand your bubble. If you're not the smartest person in the room, that's great. Your value as I'm gonna be summarizing this. So your value as a software engineer is not just your code. You should be measuring that as a whole package of your strengths and weaknesses and measuring that in a net positive effect for the team. So think about, am I solving problems for the business? Am I bringing net positive value to my team in terms of like writing code or writing documentation, collaboration, or facilitating anything that makes you not a negative person? So if you see, for example, that you're not even able to solve the easiest of problems by yourself, then you might have like tried biting more than you can chew, but still it's expanding your bubble, your comfort bubble, and it's only your choice if you're gonna stay there or not, because again, this is a great opportunity to learn from people smarter than you, and them being smarter than you does not mean that you're a bad developer. Again, focus on them being smarter and see this as a chance to also become a better developer. So you have this perfect storm of things that you're working with smarter people. You have tasks to solve that are expanding your comfort bubble that you have never did before at small companies that you work with. And you're like collaborating in this environment and still being a net positive developer. So if you're not getting fired, that means you're bringing value. That means people see and value you. So again, first of all, try to overcome the imposter syndrome. It's highly likely that it's not as bad as you think it is, like your contributions to the team. If people like you, if people see that you're contributing, they will praise you, they will give you good feedback, even though you're not the smartest person in the room. So keep that in mind. You have a great opportunity to learn, to get better, and I think being a good developer is all about, again, doing things that you know how to do, expanding your comfort bubble, being curious about things that you don't know yet. So again, think of this as 70 to 80% of your time should be spent on things that you haven't done before, with your own knowledge, so you know how to build it, and the rest will be used to expand your bubble with things that you never built before. It's fine to like this proportion I found is quite reasonable. This will not be too much stress for it, but even if you end up in a situation where you feel you're out of depth, that's fine. Keep it up. Try not to stress too much. Again, it's just a job. We're going to be talking about burnout quite soon. But you have a great opportunity to gain a lot of experience in a very short time. And in the future, you will become better at the things, like your scope of things that you can do with your own knowledge is going to get better. So that's basically it. What I want to say about being a good developer, it's all about being like a net positive, like bring a net positive impact to your team and solving problems for the business. And eventually, well, that makes us developers. And it's not only about the code, it's more about like just being like a great person to be part of a team. Again, don't measure yourself compared to others and don't measure yourself just on the code. So yeah, if you like this video, please press like, and we'll talk in the next video about something completely different. And subscribe if you like this content. I try to release at least one video per month. Hopefully it's going to be more sooner, but I'm having fun and I hope you're having fun with me as well. So see you in the next video. Bye-bye.